Ocean Needs Everyone is celebrating 5 years of saving the oceans. My name's Enzo, and through Ocean Needs Everyone, I help save the ocean by doing beach cleanups, seal and mangrove plantings, making art about recycled plastic, and making films regarding the ocean's health. How can you help save the oceans at home? Well, even if you don't live near an ocean, trash can end up in there eventually, so cut down on your use of single-use plastics. If you see trash on the roads or beaches, make sure to pick it up. Use less gas-powered vehicles, fish responsibly, and help support local organizations. I started my organization when I was 12 years old because I wanted to make a difference. So remember, you're never too young to follow your dreams and make a change. Let's all save our oceans together, one piece of trash at a time.
Want to train like a pro? DGS Ninja has you covered with obstacles designed by top athletes. Kevin Carbone, Matt Bradley, Tom Alberti, and Brett Sims. Whether you're dialing in your technique at the gym or training at home, DGS Ninja equipment is built for performance, durability, and safety. Train with confidence. Train with DGS Ninja. Find obstacles, rigs, mats, and more on dgsninja.com.
Has this ever happened to you? Where's my truck bag? Ooh, I have a solution for that. Slab chalks! You take the chalk ball, put it in the mesh pocket, zip it up, slap, and get your chalk. Slab trucks are made right here in Springdale, Arkansas at Interform, the small batch manufacturing company. We're helping our community and providing local jobs to minorities and women of diverse backgrounds. I'm Joseph Rao, Ninja Warrior, rock climber, and the CEO of Slap Chalks.
Here at Stage 4 Designs, we are all about innovation and athlete safety. We've been doing this since 2015, designing the most innovative obstacles in the sport, and now with our partnership with the World Ninja League, we are very excited to bring some of our best designs to the highest level athletes in the world. For our process, it all kind of starts right here in our digital design. There's a much more deliberate process now in what we do, with our goal being the utmost in athlete safety. So we put everything into our digital design first, make sure it's all gonna work, then we procure the parts. We learned the process and refined it to what we feel are some of the highest quality urethane products you're gonna find in the Ninja space, and that all happens here at our custom-built workbench. A lot goes into our urethane, and we are very proud of the work that we do there. Everything that we build here at Stage 4 is all custom made in-house. It's not like we have a stock of a bunch of stuff. So when you do place an order with us, that order comes through and we basically build everything from scratch. Paint department is scalable. We basically hand paint most things, but some things that require a little bit more spray or bigger, we're capable of that as well. These athletes put these obstacles through some of the most rigorous circumstances that you can think of, and we want to try to plan for every contingency. We never want an obstacle to break on anybody. We always want our stuff to feel solid and not move around a whole lot, so that the athletes can trust their skills to throw the biggest moves that they possibly can on anything that we put out there. Our CNC machine handles all of most of our flat goods. It's the workhorse around here. It actually does a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of cutting things out. We don't do any of our flat goods by hand. We make sure that everything is exactly the same and replicable, so that, you know, if you're doing courses or you have athletes that are going either head to head or the same obstacle that you're gonna find at one Ninja gym is gonna feel exactly the same if you go to another Ninja gym or your home for that matter, so that there's consistency with all of our product. Over the years, as we've added to our suite of products that we offer, we realized that pipe and metalworking is becoming more and more commonplace in Ninja obstacles, and to meet that demand, we've added the ability to do that here as well. So a lot of the obstacles that you'll see that we design and develop are meant to go on truss, and pipes are a big part of that. So we've added a pipe bending station here and look for, in the future, us to offer a lot more innovative obstacles that kind of exist in that space where pipes are a big part of it. So here, everything that we put out is tested by real ninjas before it goes out. We want to make sure that our obstacles can stand all sorts of unforeseen circumstances. We know that Ninja athletes move in ways that are innovative and new, and we want to try to account for as many of those as we can and make sure that those obstacles hold up. So we test everything. Over the last 10 years, Stage 4 Designs has been committed to developing the most innovative obstacles that you're going to find, but also the safest and most reliable obstacles. Our motto here is elevating obstacles. We do feel that on this platform, we can take something that's both fun and creative, but also elevate it to an industry that deserves to stand on its own.
Ocean Needs Everyone is celebrating 5 years of saving the oceans. My name's Enzo, and through Ocean Needs Everyone, I help save the ocean by doing beach cleanups, seal and mangrove plantings, making art about recycled plastic, and making films regarding the ocean's health. How can you help save the oceans at home? Well, even if you don't live near an ocean, trash can end up in there eventually, so cut down on your use of single-use plastics. If you see trash on the roads or beaches, make sure to pick it up. Use less gas-powered vehicles, fish responsibly, and help support local organizations. I started my organization when I was 12 years old because I wanted to make a difference. So remember, you're never too young to follow your dreams and make a change. Let's all save our oceans together, one piece of trash at a time.
Want to train like a pro? DGS Ninja has you covered with obstacles designed by top athletes. Kevin Carbone, Matt Bradley, Tom Alberti, and Brett Sims. Whether you're dialing in your technique at the gym or training at home, DGS Ninja equipment is built for performance, durability, and safety. Train with confidence. Train with DGS Ninja. Find obstacles, rigs, mats, and more on dgsninja.com.
Has this ever happened to you? Where's my chalk bag? Ooh, I have a solution for that. Slab chalks! You take the chalk ball, put it in the mesh pocket, zip it up, slap, and get your chalk. Slab chalks are made right here in Springdale, Arkansas at Interform, the small batch manufacturing company. We're helping our community and providing local jobs to minorities and women.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back up and live, the Men in Sports Arena in Morristown, New Jersey. And what a wave of Ninja we have coming at you right here for the Northeast Regional Championships. First things first, let's shout out these course designers, Stage 4 Designs. Greg Smith and the Stage 4 Design crew have locked it in for this Northeast Regional Championships, giving you all the bells and whistles, all the variation. They're doing their last-minute adjustments here on the course. As we get ready for the premier event, we got the Elite Males coming on up here in the next couple minutes. First things first, little introductions. You got John Pine, the Dad Jokes Ninja, as well as Colin Pine on the mic.
Yeah, what's up?
We are ready to be locked and loaded and just honestly sit back, grab our popcorn, and take this all in, because this is going to be a heck of a division. We got 31 elite male athletes taking on this course. Took a little extra time cooking this up, Matt Bradley and the rake team, to just dial this in to be an extra level of diabolical, I think, for this course. So we're going to walk you through it all. Keep you up to speed as we go through here. But let's talk a little bit about the format. Overall, the athletes featured here ran elite all year, had to qualify to get here in the regional championships. They had to qualify through any of these gyms that put on qualifier competitions throughout the season, have to finish in that top 3 spot, or it dropped down to punch your ticket to come here to Morristown, New Jersey. These athletes looking to get a spot into that elusive World Championships down in Greensboro, North Carolina. We're going to take that top 19 athletes of those who have not already qualified for Worlds.
And of course, this is the elite age group, which means that every single person who is here is good enough to have opted in to have the heaviest level of competition that they possibly could.
That's right. So again, they could choose to compete against me, an adult, and they say no.
Some of them are young adult.
Some of them are young adult, or adult, or maybe even masters, I dare say, can choose to opt into elite. So here's a look at our run order. As I mentioned, we have 31 athletes to bring to you. It's a couple pages worth of athletes. Here's the first few runners that will come at you here when we start things up. We got Caleb, we got Mazia, Alex, Charlie, and Adam starting things off for you here just shortly. Like I said, right now we're just kind of working through those last-minute adjustments.
Best bet would be Henry.
Matt Bradley, as always, quick on the drill, testing things out.
Henry might actually be able to do it.
So we got him covered.
Yeah? Awesome. Love to hear it.
So again, one more look at these run order. We got Matt trying for, Matt is practicing this course. He's gonna have to demo this later. I don't know who else is up to the task. Yeah, I mean, it looks like that last obstacle is just a death trap. I mean, it's going to be quite interesting to see what they've cooked up as we see this live demo here in the next minute or two. But as always, want to make sure that we have this up and running, everything where it needs to be. So the team is working hard. The team's been working hard all weekend, putting on courses. We got our Tier 2 championships all the way and through our Tier 1 championships, hitting every division level. Finishing off here with the elite males right before we get to the teen males. So we'll bring that to you here live in a minute or two. I think it sounds like they're just doing their last checks on everything.
So I haven't seen much of this course. What's different between this and the other age groups we've seen so far today?
Yeah, so I know they're still working through those last couple obstacles, but right off the bat, why don't we pan through? You can see that we had 2 monoliths, that second obstacle, now down to 1. So they're going to have to
they're going to have to build swing on it, and it'll be hard because of the fact that it's basically a VL if you have enough swing.
Yeah, I think it was about a 7-foot or so launch between that trapeze bar and that monolith. I was kind of measuring out with my wingspan. So about 7 feet there and another 7 or so feet to that ending platform.
The boards appear not to have a ring between them anymore.
Yeah, so the sliding doors, like we kind of forecasted,
yeah,
it might be sliding door to sliding door. So they're going to make that jump between the sliding doors.
It also looks like there's VLs on the next obstacle.
Oh, that is just dangerous.
This is a mean course.
Yeah, these guys are, I think they get a little overexcited when the elite males come up. We get to put out the rest of their contraption. Stage 4, putting out all of their, all of their contraptions, the bells and whistles, getting ready for this elite male course.
Next change, it also looks like the cliff sliders are now slanted, or at least the first one is anyway.
Yeah, that very well may be.
The cliff route itself is way harder, and the bar hop is
bar hop is still in progress. We're going to have to come back to these guys. Might need a minute or two. In the
still
meantime,
looks like a nightmare.
In the meantime, we're going to send you over to our format video at that checkout. We'll check back in with the rig team, get an ETA, but hang tight. We'll be right there.
Alright, here is how our athletes made it to regionals. All people competing here have either podiumed in one of the WNL qualifier events held in their region, or have qualified via a special event such as WNL All-Stars. Our athletes here at regionals will be running 2 courses. On the flow course, if you fall once, your run is over, and the person who got the furthest fastest wins. And we also have the challenge course, where you have 2 retries, but you can only use 1 per obstacle. Meaning if you fall on 3 obstacles at the same one twice, you're finished and the furthest fastest wins. The title of regional champion is determined by your placement in both courses combined. For example, if you get 2nd place on the flow course and challenge course, your total is 4, and the lowest score between everyone wins. The tiebreakers on screen will be performed if 2 people end up with the same amount of points. Along with the title of regional champion, the athletes are competing to qualify for the World Championships for season 11 of the WNL in June. The top 35% of the athletes that competed within the region will advance to Worlds, and the higher you place on the leaderboard, the later you run on the run order for stage 1 at the World Championships.
So there you go. That is your format for the entire weekend. The challenge course format is furthest to fastest, just like your traditional flow, but the challenge course format is you got a couple retries in your back pocket. So athletes will have the ability to carry those 2 retries across the entire course. You can use those retries at any point all throughout the obstacles, but you cannot use both retries on the same obstacle. So you got to keep them in your back pocket, use it sparingly. We're going to see where, I think you'll need those retries for that last obstacle, no doubt.
Knowing Matt Bradley, he's probably going to aim for as 3 people or less to clear this course.
Yeah, so we got our 31 elite athletes, 3 people. I'd say we want a 10% clear rate. That's probably about right. I think that's a good guess. But again, with the caliber of athletes that we have here, it really means this team has got to be on their A game. And I think that's what we're seeing with these little extra preparations, making sure that we got a exciting course available for you guys. So taking another look at the run orders here as we wait for their final adjustments and final practices. Sorry. Matt is just dropping left and right here. He's got to nail it the first time for the demo, right?
He does.
Is that how it goes?
That's his goal anyway.
It's his goal. So we got Caleb, we got Messiah, Alex, Charlie, Adam coming on up for your first 5 athletes. These guys have been warming up behind us. They're ready to go. They're just excited to see what we have going on here. All right, Matt's got it like he wants it. You can see through the graphic. Got a little sneak peek of that. We'll show it to you. We're going to do a demo run officially once they have it the way they like it. Yeah, in the meantime, we've had our head-to-head championships going on. So head-to-head championships were crowned. I want to say JJ Black may have taken gold in the head-to-head elite male championships. I think that's what I saw. So JJ, a newcomer to the elite male division. And I think that's what we're going to see here through this run order. You got some tried and true vets of the sport. You got some newcomers crashing onto the elite male scene, causing a stir. It is up and down the board, packed with talent. I don't think you need to wait for the very end to start seeing talented athletes. You're going to see it all throughout this wave. Poking over, seeing what Matt is doing. I think he's doing his last checks of the course. You can see him in the background. Our staff all ready to go. Ref heading on over the start line. And we may have the green light. We got thumbs up across the board. We got thumbs up over here. These guys are ready to rock and roll here. All right. So again, one more look at the run orders before we kick things off. I think we're going to head over to our demo runner.
A lot of pressure demo running the elite males.
I don't know. The question is, do we go with a handoff on the demo?
It's probably the best way to go about it. It's kind of unrealistic for people who've been working this all weekend to clear it, but Matt Bradley's going to try.
Can't just flash the entire demo. I think we're going to do a committee approach on this demo is my guess. Let's take a look at the obstacle names while we're waiting. Stage 4 striders, the monolith obstacle, sliding doors, I-beams, moon rocks, launch code, cliff traverse, and then ending with island hopper. It is not a paradise island for that last obstacle. You're essentially on a stranded island. asking for help at that point. All right, I think our demo runner is going to take off. Show us this monolith of a course.
Here you can't see this obstacle because you can instead see Matt Bradley in the camera.
Getting off that monolith. Now this door slider, got to go door to door with a cat grab.
That's going to be fun. Then the VLs,
Ref is going to have to be on it from incidental touch. Going to the vertical limits on up the way just to be rewarded with standard I-beams. Coming across. Now we got these moon rocks, which are not a gimme obstacle. These are on springs. Over to launch code. This has changed. This is a angled cliffhanger now.
This course looks absolutely diabolical.
This is what I've been waiting for. I'm going to take the demo run off. You guys know it's demo run. We want to get a close look at this one. As you can see, on the back side, what do we got? Credit cards?
Oh, yeah, it looks like it. It's 3 credit cards, then that cliff. Then whatever's on the back of there, a paddle. From the look of his grip, probably another credit card.
I think it's like all credit cards in the back.
Ugh.
All right.
Tag teams on to
Tag
Matt
off
Bradley.
Matt Bradley here for the finish. Let's,
Oh!
And the crowd groans. But no, second time around, we're going to see it. You know what? We're going to get...
Come on, Brad.
We're going to get the replay going on this. Let's see it, Matt.
Jokes it, Brad.
Hopping on across.
Oh!
And he's there, smacks the buzzer.
That's evil.
Let's see that one again. Oh, got to clear our replay, guys.
Way to go.
All the excitement. I still have my elite female replay up. Oh, man. All right. We're going to
Seems
clear
that you clearly know what you're doing.
You know what? I was just so excited for this. Didn't go through all my pre-checks.
Going to be some good
Matt
peels.
Bradley showing how it's done. You just got to power through that last obstacle.
I, for one, am excited to see athletes attempt this course.
All right, so just like that, our first runner is getting ready, queued up. We're going to start with Caleb Stroll. We are queued up. Got our first athlete ready. Here we go. Caleb Stroll taking the starting line to kick off our elite male Northeast Regional Championship. Here we go. And he is off 2:45 time limit. Zooming right across those striders. Getting our first look at this monolith obstacle. One monolith. And almost had enough to dismount. I think you might see that later on. It's a risky move. It's a challenge course. Could go for it. Caleb going door to door here.
That's a giant leap.
That is a big leap. He's going to reset, though.
I think I would actually lower my estimate. I'm not thinking 3 clears anymore. I'm feeling 2.
Man, it is not a gimme obstacle anywhere on this course. Big cat grab and just a little short on it. Oh, that's a big move for that third obstacle. VL's up the way, over to the I-beam.
Still making great work even after having made just a slight mistake.
All right, let's see him power through the rest of this course, though.
Oh. First look at these cliffs in an actual run. Oh.
I think some viewers at home just getting busy thinking about all the turns by themselves in this obstacle. These athletes got to max out on those credit cards, max out their effort.
It also does appear that this is the first age group that they've successfully completely gotten rid of the early dismounts on the cliffs with.
All right, well, we're seeing a good move at the end. Nice try. Love the effort by our first runner, Caleb. Let's take a look back at his run. Impressive. See Caleb getting ready, chalking up. He was ready to go. But it was really these doors that just provided too tough of a challenge. Got some sweet redemption though on that last obstacle. Well done, Caleb. Kicking things off for our elite male runners. All right, we're getting the countdown now for our next one.
Making fast work through those first obstacles.
Let's see, Andre.
Even with a course this difficult, all of the elite athletes are still determined to full send it.
I think you have to at this point. You got to make sure you get this.
Got to get whatever points you can as fast as you can.
Mazia eyeing this up and flying through across. Nicely done. Got some extra hang time, it looked like, in the air on that one. All right, Mozzie going down the I-beams. Pushes through, secures that landing.
Onto these
Mozzie decides
sliders.
Against the chalk. Opts for that extra second or two, but pops out. I think he'll get chalk this time around.
Yeah. So that cliff, in case it's unclear, is slanted down and does not have a lip, and you are lashing to another one that also does not have a lip.
So you got to get a firm hold. He has his left thumb underneath, and great move to get there. Secure that point. All right, so again, use one retry. Has another retry in his back pocket now for these next two obstacles. Doesn't have to be perfect. He's got a minute and 25 left to work with, though.
It's his way to that third credit card. Reaches around the back. Then what appears to be another credit card on the back.
Oh, just slips off, so he'll use his last retry here.
Another thing you people at home may not be able to see is that is a slanted paddle, meaning that it is almost impossible to hold in just about every way.
These athletes defy what's possible in Ninja Warrior. I see some great stage 3 training for these guys, though.
Absolutely.
Oh, coming off there.
And he goes on to this last obstacle. And another thing you people may not have been able to see just because of this obstacle. You need to chain momentum through two completely flat surfaces, because if you don't have enough momentum, that last jump is impossible because you'll just slide right down. So you have to have enough momentum to hit the angled one.
Oh, just popping off.
But you have to have enough momentum to hit the angled one enough to pop up into another set.
That'll be Mozzie's run. See that lift he's got going door to door, smooth across that angled or sliding cliffs. Great run by Mozzie. All right, next up we got Alex Fodor, who's been helping us out here behind the scenes at the WNL Regional Championships. Alex now taking on the course. Monolith is there.
And is right off of that. Because this course is so difficult, and because of this nature, every athlete is determined to make up time, so if they get too hard points.
Alex taking the time to eye this up and just a little shy on that.
It is an incredibly far jump between those two things.
It is a very far jump. So Alex coming from Hanover, Pennsylvania. He has no problem sending it off of obstacles. Can do a massive Max Lachey, and he's got it. Nice save right there. Yeah, I think his Max Lachey is like 16, 17 feet, something like that. Something ridiculous.
Moves up those VLs. Been incredibly strong.
You don't want to spend a lot of time there, so he gets off of it.
As soon as you get to those I-beams, you're basically home free for this obstacle. And dismounts. Onto the balance, which has not changed at all the entire week.
Got through that balance. All right, we'll chalk up here. Still has a retry available to him. 1:25 left for Alex Fodor. 19-year-old staring down. Launch code obstacle right here. Got the angled cliff, making a big move and just coming off. Yeah, I don't want to understate it, how difficult it is just on a flat cliffhanger to make a transfer. This is one that's sliding, angled, and you got to time it just right. I mean, I think it's fair to say we have multiple crux points on this course. This is definitely one of them. Oh, good reach. Oh, just slipping out of there.
That sloped cliff is, not sloped, that tilted cliff is going to prove to be incredibly difficult. Because as you hit the bottom, you're hit with a ton of inertia that will launch you forward if you don't get to that next cliff.
Thanks, Colin, for the physics lesson there. Alex going for the bar hop, just about through it. You know, whenever Alex is holding some contraption, I always get nervous. He has a history of breaking obstacles. I'm sure we have a backup ready for some of these elites, but Alex pushing through, just a little short. That'll do it for him, but let's take a look at his run. Saved it on this retry from the doors.
You know what? I'd like to change my estimate again and say that there will be one clear.
One clear is the guess. I'm gonna stick with.
Gonna lower it by one.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with 6.
Wait, who's running?
That's all high now.
6 is really high.
You know what? I'm gonna change my estimate after looking at this athlete, Charlie Ball, on the line.
Absolutely flying already.
Builds right into that trapeze swing to make the connection. Monolith dismount is there. Charlie's got hops here. Let's see him fly across. No problem on those sliding doors.
Onto the VLs. She's already to the third one. Makes his way straight from the third VL to the second I-beam. And makes his way through those I-beams absolutely easily.
Yeah, he made smooth work of those. And smooth enough that he is 12 seconds ahead of pace right now. Setting a strong tone for this elite male division. Nice
Makes
move,
that
Charlie.
look like it's not as hard as it is.
Get a look at Charlie at American Ninja Warrior Season 18 this year. He'll be one of the athletes to watch for sure this coming season. All right, talking with his coach, Joe Capo. Again, athletes, I made a good point. Athletes don't really have a close look at this obstacle until they're right there, and these are such thin credit card holds that
They're so thin, they require advanced planning and incredible strength. Meaning that you do not want to get caught up thinking about this obstacle while you're on it, or you will lose a ton of time and effort.
Charlie just
Meanwhile, doesn't even struggle with
really
it,
working through
nor
that.
everything I'm saying.
Sliding into first place right there. All right, he has time to just look through this obstacle. Over a minute left. I'm gonna take away that graphic so you guys get a good look here.
That can be your role model. Somebody younger than you.
Clean run here. Charlie's gonna pop up. Gotta move. Oh, he skips a few. The crowd is going crazy. We got a full clear.
Okay, I'd like to revise my estimate again.
Unbelievable.
I'm going to bring it back to 3.
All right, I think I've seen moves out of Charlie that I didn't even think we'd see at all.
That can be your role model. Somebody younger than you.
Let's see this just working that last obstacle, hopping it across.
Skips almost the entire thing.
I think he levitated there.
They went with Mr. Mason.
Which, of course, every time an athlete comes up with a skip that's reasonable and helps in any way, we will likely see most other athletes
100%,
running that.
100%. So let's go to the platform now. You got James Sinello. He was our Northeast Regional Champion last year. Let's see if he can repeat here. He's got his work cut out for him with Charlie setting a blistering pace ahead of him.
Almost underbars through that.
You know what? That's going to be there later on.
It probably will. Everyone just saw him get that close.
James, yeah, he provided beta without providing a beta. Oh,
He goes for the kip on the doors, which is very hard because the doors do move on their own right.
All right. So James using his retry. He's got to be perfect on this next attempt. Good
But there we
move
go.
there.
He gets it anyway. It's Chalk to prepare for these VLs, which is a good idea. Reaches from the third VL straight to the I-beam. That appears to be the method most athletes are taking at this point. He gets right off these I-beams.
James coming out of Lawrenceville, New Jersey.
Through the balance. Getting ready for these cliff sliders. Onto that second cliff slider.
About
Makes
as
it look
smooth, about
light.
as smooth as you can get there.
And is off to the cliffs of death.
He looks over and sees Coach Henry coaching right behind him. I heard get it, and I think he's cheering for both athletes. He's got an athlete on the other course.
Makes the around reach.
Hat comes off.
Onto another turn move to a sloped paddle. Then one of the hardest moves of the entire thing, which he does. And is now onto the dismount. That'll get him to the last obstacle.
All right, so I think Charlie's time is out of contention, so we're looking for a clear here for James.
Aiming to
Slides
clear.
himself into the second position.
He just saw what potentially could be the method for this obstacle right before him. Where what we saw Charlie did was skip seemingly.
At least one.
He skipped one, went straight to the angled one, and then because he now automatically had this momentum, was able to just ride it up.
Just missing on that one. So 24 seconds left. He uses his second retry. So no more extra lives. It's just James versus this last obstacle for a buzzer ahead of him. And if he wants to try to repeat as Northeast Regional Champion, he's got to get this obstacle. We're going to take that timer off. You're going to hear the 10-second countdown instead. We're going to look at this one, though. Get going, James! Oh! The skip was there
Attempts
for
the
him.
skip.
Just slipped out. Great job by James, though.
Now that we've seen somebody do the skip and somebody get that close attempting it, most athletes are going to attempt it. But that last bar hop is no joke. Even an athlete as seasoned as Matt Bradley needed practice to do it individually in the demo run.
He did. First try to get that so tough. I think the hat came off at least 3 or 4 times. We got to get a hat count back on that edit. All right, just like that over our next runner, we got Mason Troutman coming out of Stewartstown, Pennsylvania. Mason trying to go for that link move.
If it was just a little closer, he would have had
High risk,
the
high
most
reward
incredible
there.
moment.
So again, we might see a bit of conservatism here. I don't think he's going to try to set that link dismount. He may, though. He'll take that extra swing. All right, so no harm, no foul. Has a retry still in his back pocket. Really got to be clean on this one, though. And he is.
An obstacle like that monolith is, of course, designed for elites to be just annoyed by it because it's so hard to link or take speed strats on, and it just needs the slightest bit of extra thought.
That is a good call there.
Which in a course where speed and endurance matter so much is just slightly annoying.
So Mason finding his way to the second I-beam box coming into picture here.
already onto the balance, making solid pace.
All right, he will chalk up here. 1 minute and 37 seconds left. So again, chalking up because he only has one more retry available, and you really want to save that retry for that last obstacle if you can. Oh, just slipping off. Seemed like he was swinging just a little bit there. Mason, another course designer over at Kinetic Ninja Warrior. Oh, just slipping out of there. We'll put him up in the 4th spot so far. All right, we're gonna push it on over to
this last obstacle.
Yep. I think everybody would love a shot at this last obstacle.
Yes.
Come on, Mason!
Can I stand on this block?
All right. Oh, Mason just didn't get that last move.
It's because that last move is on two slanted flat surfaces. Meaning you need to have a ton of momentum as you hit it or you'll just fall off.
Good job, Weston!
And even more fortunately, you can't build momentum on the thing before it, so you need to chain momentum through like 3 moves. Being a forced underbar.
Just nasty work by these course designers. All right, next up we got Luke Lowell Lazanke coming out of Shelter Island, New York.
So that's the link. Almost has that.
Okay, I'm going to say 2 or 3 more runners. We're going to see it in the next 3 runners. Nice push over across those doors, saves it.
Onto the VLs. Of course, gets chalk for these because they need it more than just about anything else.
Yeah, but if you're an elite male, you have seen VLs all across the board, I'm sure, in multiple competitions. These guys eat VLs for breakfast at this point.
Good. Again, breathe here. Take your time. Good.
He thought about the jump out. I don't think the jump would be worthwhile. Jump to that angled slider. Go to these grips. At least get his positioning down. Yep. Good extension to maintain that hold. And pops out of there, saves that.
Great recovery from that dismount.
Yeah, that moved him into the 4th position. I mean, he would have lost valuable time if he just took a step back after doing that work.
Valuable time and effort, as that last obstacle is also no joke.
All right, he's looking through, trying to figure out the best way to work through this. Spending extra time making sure his swing, his hold is just right before transferring. But
See
all
something
that extra
interesting
time,
there.
I'll say all that extra time is just extra effort.
If you watch very closely, you can see that last time he actually put his hand on top of the part of the cliff that, on top of the side of the cliff, as well as the normal part of the cliff, so he could have extra strength points to hold from.
Yeah. A little extra stability there, however you can find it on this course. Key.
It's back under there. He does it again, topping off on the cliff.
All right, he's down to his last 10 seconds, though. See if he can get
He's going to try.
some momentum here for this last obstacle. And pops on through. Great job by Luke. Oh, that save would Great save to at least secure that point. Just that connection a little out of reach. All right, next up we got Brandon Griffin coming out of New York City. 17 years old here.
Oh, that link looks closer every single time.
You got to catch it just right, though. Like, and again, it's a little blind because of where that is. Oh, they're going to count that as a foot tap. He's got to come back. Looks like the ref's saying you do have to come back. Did mark him as a fail there. They're going to maybe try to rerun this. We're going to get a check from the ref what happened. Okay, so it sounds like it was just an accidental fail click. So we're going to give him an opportunity to go right now. He has the energy. He got himself prepared. Didn't do a lot of work. Got to actually touch an obstacle or two, but he's going to maybe potentially rerun here. So let's see if he wants to go right away. Put him back in that run order while we're waiting. After we get the decision of where he's going, we'll have Joe Capo, Nicholas, Ryan, and Joseph. All right, so it sounds like he wants to go right away. So we'll put him right back in that run order. So we get Brandon taking his rerun right away.
It's an interesting method. It keeps your adrenaline going, and it makes it so you don't lose it, having done the obstacles before and thought about them extra.
Well, and no real true grip strength depleted, right?
Yep,
So, like,
and he also knows the link is there this time.
Oh, that's a good point. So again, he got on the that second obstacle on the monolith. He was just about there. So let's keep an eye on that strategy. See if the second time through, that monolith link out is there. That would be interesting to see. It's definitely one that if you had like a redemption time, you know would be there to redo it. So
absolutely.
It's kind of like a redemption time for you, Brandon. Let's see it. All right, so fresh run for Brandon. He's going to go take this course on again. He's setting himself up. Oh, he's setting it, and he's got it.
There we go.
Great analysis by Colin to call that one. And again, yes, he had an opportunity. It's one of the benefits, pros, cons of getting that rerun. So, fastest athlete to that point, no doubt. Working the VLs now. He's backwards. He's going to turn himself around, though.
And is off of those I-beams. Thinking through these balance to make sure that...
Looks like he's going to do a true agility on it. So we saw athletes all throughout the weekend taking that slow hit in the center. Brandon just breezed through him. All right, putting himself in the 5 spot here. He's taking a little extra time to think about this one. Oh, coming off.
Again, that cliff is slanted. So if you have too much force on it, you'll just go flying.
I guess going to chalk on up. 124 retry used on this obstacle, so he's got to nail this one. Oh, tried to lachey out to that other cliffhanger hold. Just was not quite there.
Now with his remaining time, which is roughly a minute, he's going to try the rest of these obstacles.
Such a taxing grip on this course.
Absolutely. Now he gets to try the most fun obstacle of this course.
That track getting some testing of its durability on this obstacle. He wants to give it another go, though. So Brandon still has 22 seconds of time on this course. He's going to use those 22 seconds, give this another go. Crowd is staring, trying to see how to figure this one out. Oh, almost there. That'll do it for Brandon. Take another look at this. A beautiful link set on that monolith, showing that beta for everybody else. Great job by Brandon. All right, just like that, we'll move to our next competitor. We got Joe Capo on the starting platform, coming from Bedminster, New Jersey. Joe, a co-owner of Next Level Ninja on the DGS Ninja team. He just saw the link and he did it himself. Joe flying through this course, less than a second off the lead, and that lead being Charlie Ball, who's right next to him, coaching him through. Joe is 32 years old.
Onto the balance.
Competing against guys half his age in this wave.
Still showing up, though.
Still showing up, showing out.
Onto this cliff slider that's been very tricky for a lot of athletes, which he makes look easy. Does the turnaround move to get to that dismount and is off.
All right, Joe moving up to third position there with a quick time to the cliff traverse. All right, here we go.
He's mapping this out in his head. Reaches.
Across now. Oh, and great readjustment there. I don't know how you one-hand that credit card hold, but he's going to dismount from here. Got enough. Put him in the 2 spot. And if he hustles 15 seconds, he could take down Charlie. I don't know. I think he wants to take his time.
He could.
Though. He's going to opt for making sure he gives this obstacle its due respect.
Obviously a good idea.
Crowd getting behind Joe as he gets this move and just falling off. All right, to use his retry, his first retry on the course. First and last, 40 seconds left.
So I was mostly trying to give Weston some beta. So
Let's cap off this run, Joe.
So that I could see why everybody
and the move, just missing it. Getting the high five from Charlie. Training partner, coach, those two hit the gym all the time. Let's take a look at Joe's run here. Just flexing off such power and grit through that cliffhanger. And was right just a hair off on the right side of that flying bar move. That moves Joe into the number 2 spot. Fastest non-finisher thus far.
getting a different advantage.
That's a good place to be, considering how hard that last obstacle is.
Absolutely. So Ryan Gill taking on the course out of Sterling, Virginia. Northern Virginia athletes.
Sets through the monolith, and though he doesn't underbar, it does save time over setting for the link and not sending it. Making that a very good strategic decision.
Nice hop there. Ryan, I think, found the pocket of air. Somehow got like a double hop going. That was some video game stuff out of Ryan Gill right there. Right now going up those VLs. Wearing a VT shirt. I'm going to guess at 19 years old, maybe a Virginia Tech student or fan. Looking for a chalk. Liam's there for it. walking through this obstacle. Going for the reach. Oh, and pretty work there to Lachey between those cliff sliders. Gonna chalk up, get everything he needs for this obstacle.
A good idea. This obstacle, as we've seen, requires a lot of planning out.
1:10 on the clock. Ryan continuing to move well on this course. Oh, man.
A one-handed save.
Ryan having a conversation on the holds. Really just taking a little too much extra time there. He is going to use that retry. We'll chalk on up. He wanted to try to figure out where the hold exactly was on the other side. It's a blind hold. Can't really see on the other side. Slipping off there.
Griff just gives out after the immense amount of effort that this course already has taken.
He's going to chalk up for this last obstacle. Has 20 seconds left of coursework. Popping up, and just a little shy of that cradle. Hit that buzzer, though. Get a high five from his coach, Liam. So let's see, this is like a double jump here. See, like somehow got the extra move going.
Solid run overall.
Absolutely. All right, Joseph Seville on up.
Won the bogeys.
Through the first obstacle already.
Joseph coming out of Tabernacle, New Jersey.
Sets for the link. It's just not quite there. Makes his way through the doors. Onto the VLs. Doesn't even take time to chalk up, just goes for it. And makes it through onto the second I-beam. Through that balance.
Making light work of this course so far.
And onto that second cliff slider. Absolutely flying through this.
Second chalk up.
Reaches around for that cliff. Gets there and is onto the back of that board already. Makes his way to the annoying sloped paddle and makes his way to the next cliff using a grip on the top, which is really smart.
Absolutely. Joseph locking in for this move. Well done. All right, that moves him up to the number 2 spot.
Already.
Just 5 seconds ahead of Joe.
Puts him at the fastest non-finisher so far, but he is determined to remove that non and get this. Starts preparing his swing.
God, wasn't quite right on it. He's going to take a drop. They're going to reset this.
Spartak is hard in its own right individually. After the amount of obstacles that have already been done in this course, it's insane.
Absolutely. Joseph just over 30 seconds left. Time is not going to be an element. It's trying to nail this. Excellent run from shows a little dance at the end. Well earned. And well earned. Little jig. It's like a Fortnite dance. I don't know what to make of it. These kids these days, I'll tell you. Speaking of these kids these days, Mr. William Schlottiger.
Already off to a solid start. Sets a perfect swing on that trapeze bar, and
Link was nearly
eyes
there.
the link. It just didn't feel right. And if something doesn't feel right, you shouldn't send it. Does the kick off of that? I forget what it's called.
Cat grab kick.
There's a better term. I just don't know what it is.
Coach Will, one of the top designers, course designers in the Northeast region. I'd say all of the country. Very good ingenuity on the courses. Oh, and he saves that.
A great save. Onto these slanted cliffs. Sliders.
Just a little shy on that.
And makes his way onto that next set of cliffs. And is off to the harder cliffs. Gets his chalk for it. Starts planning it out in his head. You can see the visualization happening.
Yeah, visualization is something Will does quite well. He does the, I forgot the name. That game. Wow. I should have done my research better. Will.
Making his way through these cliffs well. And is already preparing to dismount those cliffs, which he does, skyrocketing him straight to 4th place. So he, of course, wants the podium, which would now require him to do this fun obstacle.
All right, but
He does some wrist stretches.
Yep.
Breathe, you got this.
Great idea, as this last obstacle is really, really hard.
All right, let's go, Will. With the pop, with the move. Oh!
Just slips off.
The crowd wanted it so badly. He's got 23 seconds left, though.
You got this, Will.
Really,
Come on.
a slight modification, and he's there. So this is it. 22 seconds left. One obstacle between him and this buzzer. Let's see it. Here we go. Just a little short on it.
A great run.
Absolutely nothing to be ashamed about there. Strong performance, saving it on these balance obstacles. Hitting that last cradle. All right, to our next competitor, we got Gavin Markowitz coming out of Warringtown, Pennsylvania.
Gavin off to a great pace.
And he's linking
Sets
that
the
down.
link.
Yep.
He's determined to go as fast as he possibly can.
A little short on those doors. It is easy to underestimate that big hop.
Goes back to the thing that tripped him up just now and makes it that time.
There we go. Second time is the charm for Gavin.
Onto the VLs, opts not to use chalk and just sends the VLs. Makes his way onto the third I-beam and dismounts right away, making crazy fast work. Onto the cliff sliders, he gets chalk. Gets straight to the slanted cliff slider. And is right to the next one. Making giant moves and already dismounts. Prepares himself for these cliffs. As we've seen with so many athletes, these require an immense amount of mental and physical preparation. So the move gets to the paddle. Prepares himself for this move that is one of the harder moves of the cliff route, and he gets it. Gets there and dismounts early. Putting him into 5th place right now. Prepares himself for this last obstacle. Has 52 seconds left. This is the point that will make or break this run.
Oh, but he has a retry available, so
He does.
just over 40 seconds left. Let's do it, Gavin.
Gets a little break in this resetting.
All right, we're going to put that time away. He's got a healthy amount of time to work through this.
Prepares himself for it.
Didn't feel right, but now he goes.
Oh. Last obstacle is very hard. Overall, though, a great run from Gavin.
Great link out of that monolith.
I didn't even mean to just fall on the cliffs, I just fell.
Take a look at the leaderboard, though. That puts Gavin in the 2 spot with his time.
Oh, I must have missaw that then.
Actually, I think we'll take a look at that. I think it's a 9. We'll get an official ruling on that.
Oh, something's wrong with our display over here. Sorry for the inconvenience, ladies and gentlemen. It moves through this course already. Links the dismount.
All right, so I think we fixed it on that live stream. All right, so Gavin showing in 2nd place. Austin Pritchard taking on the course, Bayshore, New York.
Onto these VLs. Makes the move to the 3rd VL. Eyeing up the I-beam already, gets straight to it. Prepares to dismount the I-beam and is done with it. Takes a sec to breathe for balance and goes. Gets it. Chalks up before this slider. Great idea because this slider is mean. Gets to that 2nd slider, but just misses the match with the 2nd arm.
He's going to try this one again.
Talking to his coach and getting more chalk. Visualizing what he needs to do. He gets that countdown. Gets himself onto that sloper. Not sloper. Slider.
A little sliding cliff.
Matches to the 2nd slider.
Yep.
Manages to do that without momentum, which is interesting.
All right, so Austin Pritchard in the 10 spot right now.
It moves through these cliffs. Gets to the back, eyes the paddle, shows himself to go for it. Gets
Seemingly, oh.
Gets a ton of chalk this time.
Look at that replay. Such a hard grip there.
Prepares himself. This is a very mentally challenging obstacle as well as physically challenging.
Goes by Coach Ace. Trying to ace this cliff obstacle. Moving well through it. And looking so controlled and comfortable. It's anything but on those holds. It is objectively tough. But a good posting by Coach Ace. He's going to eye up this last obstacle. Jump out to it. He has a couple seconds. All right, here we go for the move. Oh. Shakes it off and comes off with a smile. We'll go for that buzzer. Excellent job on the course. All right, moving to our next competitor. We got Zach Burkholder out of Dexterity Depot. Coming out of Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, representing.
In his way to the monolith.
He saw the link. He's going to
sets the link. It's just not quite there.
You know he's going to be kicking himself afterwards. He knows he could have done that.
In an age group this competitive, every swing and second matters. He's going to make up for it otherwise, keeping a good pace anyway.
Getting good cheers from the crowd. Pushing the tempo here. He's got it.
Gets that dismount. Works his way through the balance. This is the way to the slider. Oh, just misses that grab.
So close.
Talks to his coach, gets a little bit of chalk. Reaches for that second one, and it just is out of reach. If failed, he just gets to have fun on this course. Even under these cliffs.
You know what? I respect that effort. He came down. He's like, nope, I got to try it again. You know Bartek, he's been eyeing this one up, though. All right, let's see it, Zach. Oh.
Good attempt.
There's a good attempt there.
Great run overall.
Gets a pat on the back from Coach Tim. Through that course. All right, Andrew Rapidi coming out of Hainesport, New Jersey. Hey, he's got a ninja gym in his backyard there. Andrew taking on this course. Oh,
almost sets an underbar.
Tried to almost force that underbar.
This is his way to these boards. Sets himself up for the attack. Fixes his shoe's grip and gets it.
Wow, it was a high foothold there, which I thought may have been a little high. He just had enough, though.
Looks as though he's doing the new meta of just taking the third VL directly to the second dive beam.
Now, if you can hold it, why not? And it's going to leap on over. Wow. Looking quite smooth so far. Moves up into the 7th spot. Just over a minute of time consumed on this course.
Reaches for a round for that cliff on the side. Gets to the credit card there. Gets to the paddle.
I just can't.
Hardest move of this entire route right here.
Right there. Just can't understate the physicality needed for that move.
Putting your full weight on something that's hard to hold individually.
I think we're just saying the average the average person can barely do a pull-up if one. Now you're talking about moving.
Obviously, most of the people here can probably do at least a pull-up.
It's not the sample group here, okay? But
like I'm not gonna say for sure, but I'm pretty confident.
We're skewing the averages here at the Northeast Regional.
This is around to the side of that. Back on that paddle.
Good hold on that paddle. I think
really
secure it. That's the way
Gets
to do
it.
All right, Andrew looking for that dismount. He's got
Hits it.
All right, he's got time. He's got 20 seconds there, so probably waiting for about 15 to go.
So you need to basically underbar the entire obstacle.
He's got to get moving, though.
He's up in 1, 2, 3.
10 seconds left.
He has to go right here-ish.
After this guy.
This guy one. Well, actually,
2.3
give
seconds.
him time if he wants to retry it. I don't know if it's physically possible, so he's just going to say, I'm going for that buzzer. Oh!
Backflip.
We're going to clip that backflip as well. Style points earned.
I think that's our second buzzer cam backflip of the weekend so far.
You know what? I'm going to say if there comes to an 8th tiebreaker on this, we're gonna say maybe the backflip style point. We'll get him there.
What do you mean an 8? Is there 6?
There's not that many.
I think there's just
I didn't want to make it.
I think it just is an exact tie if they're time.
I want it to be clear to everybody listening that it's not a real thing. Don't say style points are part of this scoring. All right, 8 is way far removed from being realistic. But back to reality here with Aiden Coppinger, Mount Laurel, New Jersey, representing.
Sets the link and
there.
has it. Onto these boards, sets the tack. Doesn't quite trust it, but gets it, potentially. Looks like it, yeah.
Looks like they're giving him credit for that. Chalk up before this. Launch code obstacle. So he's in that no man land territory. Gonna have to build his swing up and get a big extension. He does.
Makes it down that second slider, takes the reach for the next one, and dismounts onto the cliffs of death and despair. It's just what I'm gonna call him from now on.
Well, until we get a better name, we'll let that stand. Aiden coming off that front credit card hold. Such a thin hold. .112 left on the clock.
Makes the move to the side cliff. Reaches around. Gets the
Just slipping out of there, though. Good enough for a top 10 posting thus far.
Sets himself up to try the bar hop.
No, keep. What was that?
Coming out of there, couldn't quite figure out the hold there. He says, no, I don't want to end my performance on that. I'm going to actually give this a real go here.
He's the biggest bum. He's the biggest bum. He's the biggest bum.
Pops up, just missing that.
No one's gotten it? No one's cleared?
Good for that buzzer. And a solid performance from Aiden. Setting a beautiful link on that monolith.
Oh, no, he's right there.
Like I said, he posts a fast time through that launch code obstacle.
He's next to Nick.
All right, we're moving on here. We got Jackson up next.
With the dread. Come on, Jack!
Jackson Erdos taking the line out of Philly. Trains in coaches at Gravity
Sets himself
Forge.
up to link the entire thing.
And it's there.
Making crazy pace. Makes the jump. Onto the VLs. Doesn't chalk up. He's flying.
Fastest athlete to that point by 3.5 seconds.
And didn't even chalk up, so he's going to stay ahead.
Jackson is moving. Doubling his time.
Still no chalk going for these cliff sliders. Makes the reach and turns to send the dismount. Ooh.
Yeah, good move to avoid that last cliff. He's in double-digit seconds ahead of the leader to this point.
Absolutely flying.
Just crushing it.
This paddle makes it look easy.
And Jackson already less than a minute to the ending obstacle. Crowd is quiet, waiting for him to go through this. But you can tell the crowd is ready to erupt. And he's there! Jackson with a full clear.
Yo, that's insane.
Everybody in the arena going crazy.
Let's go!
Gonna take a look at that.
Before
Jackson just flying. Mr. Erdos, take your curtain call on the full clear.
a great run.
He's actually so good.
We had some
It's
music.
the saxophone.
We had a saxophone at the start.
Fortunately, that camera doesn't have any audio for the live stream of that.
Take our word for it. He played a beautiful saxophone to start. I don't know, is this like American Ninja Warrior? You got a little gig to do on the starting line? Carter Lamb. Special request to get some musical start here.
It was a faster backswing tech to recover the lost time on that obstacle. That's something I haven't seen yet this weekend. Makes the tack. Onto the VLs. Looks as though he's eyeing up the same method that everybody else has been doing so far, where you go from the third. He does.
All right, Carter looking smooth through this course. Got 2 clears ahead of him.
Saxophone moving through the camera.
I love that the coach is holding the saxophone. Maybe if he gets a clear, we can get another curtain call saxophone.
That would be, like, insane. First, he's got to deal with these cliff sliders, though.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Carter working through this course. The Medford, New York native getting a little stuck here. Oh, just the fingertips sliding off there. I mean, someone else can hold the saxophone for Coach A's, but I love it. I love that he's still continuing to hold it.
Thinking through these cliff sliders to make sure he has them down. Reaches to that paddle and takes a pullback, matches.
Got to time this move because he's stuck down again and just
misses that match.
So that'll do it for Carter with his points. He has another minute or so on the clock to work through the obstacle.
Just falls off those cliffs.
And like I said, I respect any athlete who they have extra time. They don't have to go back and do it. He says, no, I'm going to try this obstacle again.
Goes to the bar tack.
Might as well.
All right, he's working up to it. Here we go. Pops up and couldn't find that second cradle. He runs back. He's He's like, let me get this back up and running before that time runs out. I got to get on this obstacle. Pops up. Oh, almost. Inspiring effort, though, from Carter here. I think I got in that no man's land and got stuck in a tricky area. Let's play it off. And he will. Let's find another camera. We got another camera to see? Starting cam. No, we're going to give our next athlete all the concentration he needs. We got Seb on the starting platform. Sebastian Ramos coming out of New York, New York. Somebody call for a special delivery. This food delivery specialist is going to slice up the course, almost underbar.
Thinks about that underbar.
Oh.
I think we're going to get to see that soon enough.
He went so strong at it.
Throws himself just a cat off of it. Doesn't appear to think about the tack. And gets it without it. Crazy jumps.
Seb going up these VLs. Got a fellow elite competitor coaching him, Malone Carter on the sideline.
Makes his way down the second I-beam, getting to the third. The VLs and this I-beam are very easy to underestimate due to the fact that on their own, anybody in this wave has them easily. But with these other obstacles coming after, the I-beams lead to some gradual grip deterioration.
Absolutely. Oh, Sebastian coming just off that. He did get through the balance right before that. I think he probably couldn't come home to his home gym with all the balance they do if he failed that obstacle. No problem, though. He'll be welcome back home. All right, Sebastian with the move. Good extension. Still has to make one last move to that ending platform. He's got it, though.
And he's got the dismount.
105 remaining for Sebastian. Couldn't quite get it on that one. Just under 44 seconds left. Out of retries, just Sebastian in the course. Credit card hold to the other end.
Back to the back of these cliffs.
All right, here
Makes
comes
his way to the paddle.
one of the hard transitions here. And he's got it. Oh, just slipping off. Great fight from Seb. All right, on over. Here we go. Popping across. He can't stay there that long. Sebastian wants another crack at this. Let's see if he can get there. He asked the ref if he can do it. He's like, it's time. It's time. Good job by Sebastian. Just fluid through this course. All right, our next competitor up. We got Nick Warren taking on the course. Nick out of Doylestown, Pennsylvania.
Links that entire obstacle. Second person to do that so far. Makes a fast cat move through that.
Yep. Nick's had a lot of success. WNL and other leagues, NSC. He's got Joe Capo right alongside him. And just decides to
Jumps
go for
the entire
spin.
obstacle.
Nobody thought of that until just now.
And now it's in everybody's minds. It's not super unreasonable of a jump either.
It is not. He just doesn't like balance obstacles. Wants to showcase on the rest of
Worth
this
it for
course.
the time save,
Yep.
honestly. and early dismounts,
And he
making
is
him the fastest athlete up till this point.
almost 2 seconds faster than our next closest athlete. Let's go, Nick! There he is! Hits his chest. We're going to take a look, and yes, he is your fastest athlete through 106.7. Taken first from Jackson. The crowd just realizing it right now. Excellent job. We got to look at that, though.
The best run so far
Clear.
today. Probably the best run so far this weekend.
Unbelievable. Again, Nick, Jackson, Charlie. But right now we got Elias Poe taking on the course. Good move to swing right into that trapeze. He's thinking link dismount. He's got it.
Gets the tack off of there, goes onto these VLs.
All right, Mechanicsburg, PA being represented well today. Elias jumping on out of there. Here comes the grip move. Oh, barely holding on, but it doesn't matter. It still counts in the scorecard.
Onto these cliffs.
And he's posting a pretty quick time here.
Using some of it to plan this out.
All right, so Elias, ton of experience with VLs, short holds. Just needs to fight through this one.
As you can see, a lot of athletes are trying to be very efficient on this obstacle because the longer you're on it, the harder the next one becomes. So even if you don't fully trust a move, it's worth sending it just to get off of whatever you're currently on.
He's got it.
And sends the dismount.
Elias Poe 125 to that point. He is going to take a breath here. Did a lot, put a body of work to get to this point. He's just thinking clear at this point. Just under a minute left, all green on the scorecard. Let's see it, Elias. All right, here we go with the pop-up. Gets there and just slipping out of there. But he got a feel for it. So 45 seconds left. Using his retry on this.
Good time on the clock for it. At least sufficient time. Takes a second to plan it out.
You know they got, he's got bar, he's seen all variations of bar tech here before. So I think he did enough to figure it out. Let's finish this out. Oh, Elias just not quite there. We'll take a replay here. Such a smooth move through that monolith. Just a little overextension of that bar is what did it.
Let's go, Liam. Focus, buddy.
All right, we got Liam Diggins coming on up next. Liam also, shout out to Liam for all his help behind the scenes here at WNL Northeast Regional Championship. But right now, his focus is on this course. Liam out of New Oxford, Pennsylvania. Beautiful link out of there.
Through that, trying to make a fast pace. Goes for the tack. Ooh!
Good save right there.
Spectacular recovery. Going for these I-beams and VLs. Doesn't even use most of the VLs, just gets straight to those I-beams.
He is thinking speed, absolutely.
It's a good thinking to be doing.
Chalk up real
Takes
quick.
a sec for that chalk.
Got Coach Keith right alongside him.
Worth the trade-off of time that chalk takes just to guarantee this obstacle. Gets right off of it. More chalk.
Liam looking to fight through this cliff traverse series of intermixed obstacles.
Into the hardest move.
Or it may just get out right here.
Ooh.
He does. Moves into our fastest non-finisher already.
Let's go, Liam. You got this, buddy. Come on, Liam.
Preps himself to plan through this obstacle. Super important point.
All right, here we go. 1:17 left. Pop on over. Oh.
He knows he was there.
You know what, I will say, I've done open gyms with Liam. He sets up the craziest bar tech to try to continue challenging himself. He just got his practice on this one. Let's see it,
Come on,
Liam.
Liam. You go, Liam. You got this.
1:08 left. Coming out of Ninja Logic. Let's figure it out. Just a hair short on it. Smack that buzzer.
Good job.
Beautiful set on that monolith.
And a great run overall.
Absolutely. Flying across the I-beams, the cliffhangers, and here it was, the attempt. Just a little short. All right, Milo Pepito coming out of Brooklyn, New York.
And as of recently, we did enter the final 10 athletes and didn't call attention to it. Just side note.
Oh, yeah, a little side note.
I think he ran down.
We're in our last 8 athletes.
Yeah.
The math
Not
is
messing
right.
that one up
Nope,
again.
Never again. Milo's been resetting here, also helping out with the course. Got to pop up. Almost got his feet up.
They do call him on it, so he has to try again.
We'll have to try that one again. Using a retry here. Coach Sebastian telling him, switch it on up, angle it, face it, and then pop up, get out of there. Giving him good advice. See if he can execute it. Good move to hop on him.
Makes his way through these I-beams. Struggling. Skips a balance obstacle.
That first one.
Preps himself for this slider. Oh.
One hand on it. It's going to chalk up while that gets reset. And then you got your countdown.
Stuck in the no man's land, but still manages to grab that next slider and match.
Good extension from this kid.
Back again to the cliffhangers of doom and despair.
And he's going to chalk up. So he's used both his retries now. Early retry on that door. So he's out of extra lives here. He's got to be flawless. One arm just smoothly
Just flexing on
operating.
everybody else. Crazy aura farming.
Oh, but having a little hard time navigating, not a problem. I mean, I don't know. It feels like he's hovering. I don't know if he's using a cheat code or something. But
Absolutely mogging everybody else.
I'm going to take your word for it, whatever word you just said there. Milo Pepito, the Brooklyn native, trying to serve a deep dish of full clear. 15 seconds left, though.
Preps himself for this bar hop move.
Got
Does
the
not have
stick.
momentum, though.
Oh. And that'll do it for him, but great finish from Milo.
a great run and potentially some of the craziest cliff strength we've seen so far.
Absolutely.
Now go, right in the middle. Good, middle, middle, middle.
All right, we're in our home stretch. 7 more athletes. Let's go to Nick Menzorio from Summit, New Jersey.
Making great work through these first couple
Nick
obstacles.
saw the link out. He's setting up the link. Is
Not quite there.
Not quite there.
Line up the move, tacks, and is right off. Gets through there.
Thought about the chalk, but Nick's got it.
Makes his way up these VLs, reaching out for the next I-beam. It's going down the I-beam to the third one. Making solid, smooth, consistent work through it.
Nick's out of there.
Consistency is very important on that. Oh.
Oh, he's going for the jump. Yep.
Gets it clean.
That's a couple seconds of time savings you're going to need later on.
It is.
He's got it. Slides himself into 14th position. Nick. Twisting and turning through a tangled web of cliffhangers, credit cards, thin rails.
Oh!
Just a little short on that. He's going to recover.
A dismount is, of course, very difficult because building swing on a sloped, slanted cliff is ridiculous.
Shake it out. Looks like his coach Joe is getting him just to relax a little bit. Ease the tension. Just have fun with this. All right, Nick working his way through.
Sets up the dismount and gets it that time. Onto the bar tech.
Off of that.
Just a bit too much momentum there. Unique problem to have.
Absolutely. We're going to reset this obstacle. Fresh countdown here. All right, so 11 seconds. He's going to go for it.
And gets it.
He's got to finish out, though. And it's there for him.
A great run. That's our 4th clear.
Another full clear on the course. Had to execute the entire way through, recover off of that dismount that went wrong. Everything went right for him at the end. All right, so we got 4 full clears on the board. Can we add to that total? Graham Ogden on the course now. And I said 6 clears, right? 6 is the guess.
I don't know. 6 is a lot. Makes his way to the doors.
Holds on to that ending platform for dear life. Making it count, though.
Makes his way onto the I-beams. Off of those I-beams, working his way to the balance. Getting through it, nice and slow. Slow and steady wins the race, especially on balance, where everything else can cause easy mistakes.
That is very true.
Goes for that dismount, gets it.
Graham being coached by Joe. Actually, sorry, his dad. Saw Joe cheering on the sideline. Graham pushing through this. And trying to go for that dismount, wasn't quite there. So using a retry here. Talking through the approach. To that same point, opts to go for the next board, the safer way to get to that ending platform. And he gets there.
Onto the bar attack.
Oh, just coming off. So again, he's got 24 seconds. There's time. Talking it through with his coach. Alright, so timing commences. A little over 20 seconds left. He's going to go right here. Oh, just a little bit off track there. Graham will finish in a 12 spot so far. Such strength to go through that obstacle twice.
Down to our final 5 runners.
All right, Weston Justice taking on the course now at Towson, Maryland.
Making his way onto the doors already, making solid pace. Makes the attack almost immediately upon hitting the bottom. Working his way to the VLs now.
One of the smoothest we've seen through those sliding doors so far. Working methodically through this I-beam. Straight arms, saving some of that lock strength for later. Get through, he's going to chalk on up.
Makes his way through these sliders. Just misses the match on that second slider. These sliders also are easy to underestimate by athletes because most of them will spend their time focusing on the next 2 obstacles, and when you don't have an adequate amount of thought put into this one, it turns much harder.
Yeah, definitely one you get a feel for it that first time. He put his thumb underneath. I think he's going to try to secure this a little more and does a nice job lacheting over to that far cliffhanger slider. It's just little adjustments.
Great effort. Moves on to the cliffs of doom and despair.
Little adjustments you need to get through that course. All right, Weston with a minute and 8 seconds left. 2 obstacles ahead of him. Has a retry available. Sure, he'd love to save that retry for the last obstacle. But we'll use that retry here. So, talking to his coach, Mason, who we saw earlier in this wave.
Thinking through these cliffs.
held onto the bar. Great job by the kid.
Up next is JJ Black out of Dexterity.
Take a look at our run order, though. We got JJ, Caleb, Daniel Jones, and Tom Alberti to finish off our elite wave. Guys, we need more clears. We got 4 clears. We said there'd be 6. That was our pre-run prediction. Let's get after it, JJ.
Coming out blazing hot. That's my man's.
JJ not quite there for that link dismount, but trying to clean it up afterwards. Oh.
That kick just had a little bit of zest, so he didn't quite have it.
He's checking his kicks right now. Early drop, but no problem there.
Moves on to these VLs. See the fake curls flowing through the air.
Pushes on over.
Goes for the jump.
Yeah, knew that was there. JJ spends a lot of time in the air being a
Pole vaulter.
Very strong pole vaulter. His first year pole vault. I think he's hit
14
feet pole vault.
Crazy. Making his way through these cliffs easily. And he's been on this course for roughly 67 seconds now, so takes the effort.
61 to be exact.
67. Been on the course, not the timer.
All right, let's pop across.
Just misses that Bartek move. He's really close, though. He knows he's there.
All right, and this is it for JJ. Fastest non-finisher. Can he add finisher to his run? Plenty of time.
Move.
You see the move, and he's got it!
A great move out of JJ.
That's it!
Absolutely crazy run.
Crowd cheering right along. He's looking at the time. We'll get a check on that time. Let's take a look at this finish, though. Excellent job. All right, that puts JJ in 3rd place with a time of 1:28. So our leaderboard full of clears right now. Your top 5 to crack the top 5 you have to clear is Caleb up to the challenge. Caleb Koobs coming out of Dexterity Depot. He wants that link. Ooh. Caleb gonna make up for time later on, I'm sure.
Just had that step slightly wrong, so it took a sec to fix it. Always better safe than sorry.
Absolutely. Caleb coming out of Liverpool, Pennsylvania. Fell in love with Ninja as he's been training, competing since about 5 years ago.
Makes his way through those I-beams. Goes for the balance normally and gets it. No chalk before these sliders, trying to make up time where he can.
Gotta be a big reach. Oh, good Lachey 1-2 move to get it out of there. All right, now I would say, eventually say this is the hardest obstacle left for Caleb.
Yep, the cliffs of doom and despair.
Because Caleb
Well, this is gonna make the other one harder too, so we don't know.
Flying bar.
Can never be sure.
Never be sure, but gotta get through this one first, either way.
Sets himself for the dismount already.
Oh,
just short.
A little short there.
Just needed the slightest bit more swing, and that would have been easy.
Last season he cleared stage 1 and stage 2 at Worlds. just has to navigate across these. Doing all the work twice. But getting enough.
Gets that dismount this time. Prepping himself for the bar tack.
All right, Caleb, you got a retry available. 56 seconds left. He
Sets
loves
himself
bar
for
tack.
it.
He's ready for it.
Oh!
Just finding about a hair of miss on that one. We got 47 seconds on the clock. Time will come into play, but right now he's just looking for that buzzer. And it's there.
Oh!
Just missing on that.
As close as it could have been.
That is about as close as you can get. I mean, Caleb had to fight through the grip obstacle, that cliff traverse, twice to work to get to that last obstacle. And just missing. So Caleb still posting a top 10 position. We got 2 athletes left. We got Daniel Jones taking on the course. Come out of Mount Sinai, New York. All right, Daniel trying to push this pace. Once he gets through those doors, he does.
Makes his way to these VLs. Makes his way up them, goes from the third to the I-beam, which has become just the meta for that obstacle.
If you think it's good, then they're good. Everything else is done.
Daniel finding that dismount.
Still no chalk for this obstacle.
Impressive.
Makes that
Reach
match
wingspan.
easily. Super clean.
And he's there.
Onto the cliffs of doom and despair.
Daniel taking a little breath here. Getting full respect for this obstacle. Oh, and he's just flexing across these cliffhangers. Taking an extra big swing to get out of there. He does. All right, Daniel Jones onto the last obstacle. One of our fastest non-finishers so far. We're in North Jersey. This is New York Giants territory. Do we have the real Daniel Jones? Just missing.
He goes back. He knows what happened, and he's going to walk himself through how to fix it.
Got a whole minute left.
Talking with his coach and getting chalk.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, Daniel coming up
Sets.
to the move now.
Oh! That last bar tech is so hard, but he does, I forget what it's called, but the cleanest get up that you can do.
It's clean. So Daniel coming in 7th position. Got one more athlete. We're going to give him the crown of the real Daniel Jones. We're in North Jersey. I think they take this Daniel Jones versus that old former New York Giants Daniel Jones. All right. Out. Last.
But not least.
But not least, we got Tom Alberti taking on this course.
Setting up a blazing pace already. Almost underbars through there.
Thought about it.
To these doors. Does the tack. Makes his way to the VLs.
Tom finished 5th place in strongest ninja
See,
at
just
Worlds.
about every athlete has now gone from the 2nd VL to the 3rd. Slight reset needed to happen, but
Reset we got on it. For
didn't
our last,
interfere with him at all, so.
Yep, for our last competitor. got the course nice and set up here. He's going to get right to that platform. Over 2 minutes left. He is setting a blistering pace. As I said, he's the 5th strongest ninja last year, 8th place in the World Championship.
Makes that dismount.
Already moving into the fastest non-finisher. We got one more runner. Can we get one more?
Oh!
Just short. I'm not going to say anything. No curse, no superstition. But Tom's got one more try at this. Reppin' DGS. Comes down to this. Can determine placement overall. And it does! There he is! Smacks that buzzer, moves into silver position, number 2 overall.
Dang, you're
with
clear.
a full clear.
How many clears was that total?
I think that was 6 clears
Dang.
overall. So again,
Prediction was right.
prediction was right on. We're going to take a look at the overall leaderboard. So Nick Warren taking home gold in the challenge course. Tom Alberti in second, and Jackson Erdos in 3rd. Overall leaderboard now, these guys got to go over to Flo. Will determine and crown an overall champion. But here's a look at your top 10 nonetheless. We had 6 full clears on this tricky stage 4 course. What an impressive performance across the board. All right, on the mic, John Pine, the Dad Jokes Ninja, Colin Pine, happy to bring this one to you. It delivered, paid off. So much excitement going through that course. We're gonna see these guys again at World Championships, June 18th to June 23rd. Mark your calendars. You do not want to miss when it all leads up to the finals. For everybody here at the Men's Sports Arena, it was a pleasure to bring you the Elite Male competition. We got one more wave ahead of us for the weekend in the challenge course. Stay tuned.